Yeah. Out of all the strange things to start working again, I have a working ONAN generator. Let me tell you a little story here. Hey everybody, how you doing? Hang on a second, let me kick this off and we'll have a little chat here. So, the YouTube world has been following me in this generator issue for 6 months, and let's not even go back into how many repair shops, certified mechanics I visited, ONAN, Cummins, and all the money spent. The purpose of this video, there's two purposes of this video. One, I want to help any of you out there with an RV and something that looks like this, an ONAN generator. Mine's a 5500 QV RV generator by ONAN, and I want to help people. But I also want to brag a little bit and say, I fixed it with the help of my friend Kevin over in Kentucky, and I want to show you exactly how we diagnosed it, how we fixed the real problem here, and I can move forward, because yesterday I ran this sucker for 6 hours under load with no problems. It works. We fixed it. A lot like one of my friends, Clive, who said, you know, you want to keep the oil dipstick oil full to about 3/4 full. You don't want it over 3/4 full. Sometimes it gets confused in there. Well, let's go inside. I want to talk with you about what the problem was, and maybe you have something similar and how we went about fixing this. But one of the things I've learned about all the YouTube experts out there, that I call them, the armchair experts, if you will, is that there's a lot of bad information going around out there. And, you know, you can Google search, what happens my generator dies. There's like 50 different problems, let alone 500 different answers and resolutions. So from the start, everyone I know has always said this is a fuel delivery problem. A fuel delivery, I've had the carburetor rebuilt 4 times. I have 4 new fuel pumps. The entire generator has been rebuilt, and it still shuts down randomly anywhere between 10 minutes after running or 45, 50 minutes after running. How do you diagnose something like that? Spoiler alert, it was never, ever a fuel delivery problem at all with my ONAN generator. Ever. I wasted $4,500 on rebuilding the entire generator when it was something so much simpler. I'm going to put an email address in the video description below. If you want to reach out and thank my friend Kevin in Kentucky, he is a mastermind. He is an awesome guy. He loves helping people. He spent hours on the phone with me, walking me through things to test and diagnosing and trial and error, stuff like that. He likes helping people out in the RV community. So if you're having a similar problem with something in your RV, send him an email. Tell him you heard how much he helped with Nomadic Fanatic, and or just send him a thank you note for being this mastermind genius genie out there in the world. So anyway, that's in the video description below. Also, I'm uploading this video with Nomad Internet. Link in the video description for that if you need unlimited internet. Here was the problem that was facing in my RV. Remember all the times in the last 6 months where I said the generator cut off randomly? Turns out it's not actually quite so random. I've got a ceramic heater going right here. It's a 1500 watt heater. The generator isn't running right now, by the way, but let's pretend like the generator's running and I'm plugged into the generator and I'm powering this heater. Or this microwave up here. Either one, a high appliance. When this reaches temperature and kicks off the heater, or when I turn the heater off, within 3 to 5 seconds, the generator shuts down after the big load has been released off the generator. Well, that's significant, right? And Kevin noticed that right away. He's like, well, Eric, wait, we're on to something here. That's great news. Why didn't I necessarily know this for sure in the past? Well, you remember when I was up at Aja's place in Flagstaff, Williams, Arizona area, I didn't know when it was shutting off because I was gone. I was hanging out with people. I would come back and the generator would be off. You know why that was? Because my rooftop AC had reached internal temperature set on my thermostat, compressor kicks off, generator would shut down after 3 to 5 seconds. Randomly, you might say, as I said. Same thing with the microwave, and same thing with the coffee pot. So, oh, we need to go back outside again real quick. Okay, in case you don't know this information, a great place to start, if your generator won't fire up, or if it's shutting down like it was doing to me, you have a hidden secondary code. So say it shuts down, this light right here by your start button is going to blink. That means it's time to check for your secondary code, and to check that, you just tap the start button once. Then you look and see how many times it blinks. In my case, it would always blink once, and then pause, and then blink 4 more times, and repeat that sequence, hence giving me a secondary code of 14, 1, and 4. You go into the ONAN manual, and there's a whole list of stuff that might be able to help you. And that was helpful information for Kevin over the phone when we were talking with. He said, man, what you need to do is you need to go get yourself a kilowatt meter. And ironically, I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have one, Kevin, and I use it all the time. What I use this thing for is to check the wattage and amps of certain appliances. So you plug this end into the wall, and then you plug your appliance into this end, and then your readout is going to tell you how many watts you're currently drawing on that device. And I find that really helpful when you're boondocking to know exactly how many amps and watts everything is pulling inside the RV. But it turns out this can help you diagnose a generator frequency problem. So, I mean, in a sense, and remember, if you're not comfortable doing this, then don't do this. But when I plug this into my system and I'm running my generator, what it's reading inside the wiring is what it's reading from the actual generator. So we can go like this and then check, there's hertz, 60 hertz right there, but the generator is not running right now. And again, this wasn't saying 60 hertz when the generator was running. It was saying 64 to 66 hertz. Okay, so from here, Kevin and I spent 2 hours on the phone going back and forth, making adjustments to the generator. I'm going to show you how we made those adjustments, but basically I had the heater sitting here on the table, plugged into this, we do the test, I tell him what it's like, then we shut the heater off, then we turn the generator off, and then every single time I'd have to come out here, take the cover off this, and make some adjustments. I'm going to show you some of those adjustments and what we found once we started looking in here. Okay, so there's this adjustment right here. You can see the teeth on there and this spring right here that adjusts the frequency throttle. So we adjusted that back quite a bit. And then we realized that there's a secondary adjustment up here where you can rotate that 10mm nut right there and get that to move even more in there. And once we did that, I don't know if you can see up here, but the threads, well, I saw silver threads on top of that nut. And those silver threads tell me one important thing, and that is that in Flagstaff at Flag Tool and Repair, they had made the adjustment. Remember they hooked up that fancy frequency tool? They had made the adjustment, but the adjustment had come loose because they didn't put any Loctite on that nut. That's why I was seeing those new silver lines on the thread, because the nut had simply vibrated itself back down into the wrong position, giving me the wrong frequency. So in the end, you could almost say that this entire generator problem issue was based on not using Loctite on a thread. Essentially, it's a little more than that. You know, because every next repair you go to who's ONAN Cummins certified is looking at all the receipts from all the work and all the stuff we've done, and they simply look at that information, and this is why that information was bad, is because, oh, you even had your frequency adjusted and fine-tuned by a specialist. Yeah, I did, but they didn't do it correctly. They didn't put Loctite on it to secure it. So as a mechanic, you're going in thinking, okay, well, the frequency's fine, can't be that. Let's put another fuel pump in. So it's almost like you're giving these new mechanics too much information, and then they base 100% of it thinking, well, everything's fine, we got to go somewhere else. Ideally, it'd be better if I were working with one ONAN Cummins repair shop for the entire 6 months and all that money, but you can't do that when you're on the road. And the generator runs perfectly. It no longer shuts off randomly. It is 100% in working condition, and I could not be happier. However, I have my second backup Champion generator inverter that's going to go right here in the corner in case this ever happens again, in case I ever have a problem, or in case I just, you know, maybe my gas tank's under a quarter tank in there, but I can run this or something. I'm really happy to have the generator back. I can't thank Kevin enough for helping me and wanting to help so many other people. So I'm sharing his knowledge and information with everyone in the RV community. And again, if you're having a similar problem, he might be able to work on other things on an RV too. Shoot him an email, and if nothing else, at least say thanks to Kevin, because he really helped me out. He really helped me out, and I made a new friend. Well, anyway, that's my really good news. Hope there's more of that to come before Christmas gets here too, because I do have other projects, but man, I feel like we all should just like have a beer together and just kind of celebrate, you know what I mean? How about Christmas coming on the way? Sean and Jill and I went up to the racetrack here just north of Alton and saw a fantastic Christmas light show, and it was one of the coolest drive-through Christmas decoration setups I've ever seen, and I want to end with that to help get you in the Christmas mood and bring smiles everywhere because I'm smiling. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in a couple days. Okay, bye.